Sarah was in high spirits today. Her daughter Pamela's birthday was approaching, and she would be returning to New York after a long time. That is why Sarah decided to take her white sedan out herself today. Pamela was the city's district attorney, and Sarah was incredibly proud of her daughter. She planned to buy her daughter's favorite perfume and a lovely evening gown. Sarah was driving the car herself. She reached a busy intersection. Suddenly, ignoring the traffic signal, a group of people started crossing the road, forcing Sarah to slam on the brakes. Just then, someone slapped her car window violently. "Hey lady, can't you see? You almost killed us!" Startled, Sarah looked toward the window. It was a police officer in a blue uniform. However, his stance, his gaze, and his manner of speaking lacked even a shred of professionalism. Instead, there was a kind of bestial glee in his demeanor. The man's name was Sergeant Arnold Smith, a notorious name within the New York Police Department. Drivers, hawkers, and small shopkeepers in the area trembled at his name. Bribery, extortion, and abuse of power were his primary weapons. Arnold was in a rush. He had to arrange a secret meeting for the local senator, Stephen York. Stephen York was a living nightmare for the city. Outwardly a benevolent leader, he was inwardly a terrifying mafia boss. Murder, land grabbing, smuggling, everything happened at his signal, and Arnold Smith was his right-hand man, executing all his dirty work under the guise of the law. Stephen York's influence was such that even the police chief treated him with deference, while the rest of the officers were like his slaves. Arnold noticed his patrol car was stuck in the traffic jam, while this woman's expensive car was right in front. He abruptly opened the passenger door of Sarah's car and hopped inside. "Drive!" Arnold roared. Flabbergasted, Sarah asked, What are you saying? Why did you get in like this?" "Shut up. I am Sergeant Arnold Smith. I'm late for government duty. Drop me ahead. Drive fast." Sarah was terrified. Such behavior from a police officer. Without another word, she pressed the accelerator. A pungent smell of cheap liquor and sweat emanated from the man. "Faster! Are you pretending? Can't you drive?" Arnold shouted. Sarah's hands were trembling. Following Arnold's orders, she drove rapidly and dropped him off at the entrance of an alley. Before getting out, Arnold sized up Sarah's expensive designer dress, the diamond bracelet on her wrist, and the car's interior. A cruel smile played at the corner of his lips. After getting out of the car, a thought struck him. The woman looked quite wealthy. He could extract some dollars from her. The money for Charlotte's shopping would come from this old woman today. Arnold stood in front of the car. "Hey lady, get out!" Sarah said, "What happened, officer? I just dropped you off." "Shut up! I said get out!" As soon as Sarah stepped out, Arnold started shouting in his harsh voice. "Madam, you were driving too fast. You have to pay a fine for speeding." Sarah was astonished. What was this man saying? "Sir, you told me to drive fast because you were in a rush." Arnold's voice rose to a scream. "What? You have the audacity to talk back to me? I told you to drive fast? Do you have proof?" People started gathering. Everyone watched, but no one stepped forward. No one in this area dared to mess with Arnold Smith. Arnold said with sadistic glee, "You're in trouble today. Show me the car papers." Sarah handed over the documents from the glove box with trembling hands. Registration, insurance, everything was perfect. Seeing everything was in order annoyed Arnold. He threw the papers on the ground. "Hey woman, nothing's right with your papers. Come on, take out $500, otherwise I'll tow the car right now and file a case. You'll be running around courts for the rest of your life." Tears welled up in Sarah's eyes. This was the first time she had faced such an insult in her life. She spoke in a firm but shaking voice. "Sir, my papers are all correct. I checked them myself. And why should I give you money? I haven't done anything wrong." This statement was like adding fuel to the fire. "You won't pay?" "No." "You're arguing with me?" Arnold's eyes turned red. He screamed, "I know rich women like you. Come on, let me teach you the law today." Before she could understand anything, Sergeant Arnold, using all the strength of his heavy frame, slapped Sarah hard across the face in the open street in front of hundreds of people. Slap! The sound seemed to echo through the traffic noise. Sarah couldn't keep her balance. She fell to the ground. Her expensive sunglasses flew off into the distance. The surrounding crowd was stunned. A crowd had gathered, but they were all silent spectators. No one uttered a word. Arnold wiped his hand on his pants and said triumphantly, "Go, complain to whoever you want. I am the king of this area, Arnold Smith." Sarah sat on the ground, weeping. The mental humiliation was 1,000 times worse than the physical pain. Someone was watching this whole scene. Rachel, Pamela's college friend and a freelance journalist, was sitting in a cafe across the street. She knew Arnold. At first, she was just taking photos, but seeing the slap, she had quickly started recording video. Arnold's final dialogue was also captured. She quickly sent the video to Pamela's personal number with the text, "Pamela, watch this immediately. Brooklyn intersection, Auntie." The state office in Albany was busy. District Attorney Pamela had just finished a long meeting. She sat in her chamber after the meeting. Her phone was on vibration. Picking it up, she saw the video clip sent by Rachel. Pamela played the video. At first, she didn't understand anything. Brooklyn intersection, a cop named Arnold Smith demanding dollars. Then came the scene. The video was shaky, but the scene was clear. Her mother, Sarah, falling to the ground, slapped by a police officer. She watched the video again, and again, and again. Steam seemed to be coming out of her ears. The mother she had never raised her voice to was slapped today by a roadside thug. Fire, not tears, flowed from Pamela's eyes. The attorney in her vanished for a moment, replaced by an enraged daughter. But the next moment, she composed herself. She was DA Pamela. She couldn't act on impulse alone. She picked up the phone. "Get my car ready, immediately, New York City." "But ma'am, the State Development Board meeting is tomorrow." Pamela shouted, "Cancel everything." She reached New York after a furious 4-hour drive. When she rang the doorbell, Sarah opened it. She was unrecognizable at first glance. The imprint of 5 fingers was swollen and red on her cheek. The tears had dried, leaving her skin rough. Pamela didn't say a word. She entered the house, threw her bag on the sofa, and stood straight in front of her mother. "Who?" Her voice was ice cold. Sarah didn't recognize this version of her daughter. She thought her daughter would come and cry, hug her. But who was this Pamela? "What happened, Mom? Why are you silent?" Sarah was surprised. How did you know?" "Millions of people are watching the video of you getting slapped on social media, Mom, and you're asking me how I knew?" Pamela's voice choked up. "Pamela, please, let it go. The man isn't good. He has a lot of power. They say a senator is behind him. I don't want any harm to come to you." Sarah held her daughter's hand. Pamela held her mother's hand tightly. "Harm, Mom? The harm has already been done, not just to you, but to me too. If a district attorney's mother can be slapped by a street thug and he gets away with it, with what face will I promise justice to common people tomorrow?" Pamela looked at her mother and said, "I promise you, Mom, I will account for every second of this insult. That Sergeant Arnold and his backer, Senator Stephen York, I won't spare anyone. This isn't your daughter's promise. It is DA Pamela's vow." There was fear in Sarah's voice. "What will you do?" "What a DA should do. But before that, I want to see how deep their rabbit hole goes." She decided to go to that police station disguised as an ordinary woman, hiding her identity. She wanted to see exactly how they treated common people. The next morning, Pamela swapped her expensive suit for jeans and a hoodie. She arrived at the station in an ordinary cab. That notorious Brooklyn precinct. Its dilapidated state was visible from the outside. The walls were covered in graffiti. Pamela went inside. The duty officer was engrossed in a magazine. Pamela stood at the desk. "Excuse me?" the officer said without looking up. "What do you want?" "I came to file a complaint," the officer said dismissively. "What complaint? Murder or robbery? Can't you see I'm busy?" "My complaint is against one of your officers, Sergeant Arnold Smith." Upon hearing the name, the officer's demeanor changed. He put down the magazine and looked Pamela up and down. "What name did you say? Sir Arnold? A complaint against him?" "Yes, yesterday at Brooklyn intersection, he slapped a woman." "Shut up," the duty officer barked. "Get out of here. Is this a place for jokes? You want to complain against Sir Arnold? You have some nerve. Which human rights organization sent you? Go, beat it." "Look, you are obliged to take my complaint," Pamela said, keeping her voice as calm as possible. "Oh God, here to teach me the law? Wait, I'll teach you the law." Just then, Sergeant Arnold Smith entered the station proudly through the gate. The hangover from last night hadn't faded yet. "What's up, Sam? Who are you yelling at so early in the morning?" Arnold sat in his seat. "Look, sir, this girl says she's here to complain against you." Arnold looked at Pamela closely. Ordinary appearance, but the look in her eyes was incredibly intense. "What's your complaint?" Arnold asked, putting his feet up on the table. You slapped an elderly woman yesterday. I've come to report on her behalf. Arnold laughed loudly. Ha, I hit her? Good, I'll hit her again. Anyone who talks back to me gets hit. What will you do? Go, get lost, or I'll put you in the same state as that old woman. You are using this language as a government employee? Pamela's voice hardened. Government employee? Hey, listen, I'm not just an employee, I own this area. And do you know who my boss is? Senator Stephen York, a man your father's age. Go complain to him if you can. I will go to your superiors. Go ahead, go. Who do you have? Chief? Captain? Everyone lives in Senator Sir's pocket. Go, get out. If you stay one more minute, I'll book you for public nuisance and lock you up. Pamela smiled. Lock me up? Yes, I know girls like you. You can do anything for dollars. Come on, let's go inside. Today, you'll be the one shopping. Arnold made an obscene gesture. The rest of the police staff at the station joined in the vulgar laughter. Pamela calmly took her phone out of her bag. Arnold barked. What happened? Who are you calling? Your boyfriend? Call him. I'll throw him in the lockup with you, too. Pamela turned on the speaker. It was ringing. A grave voice came from the other side. Yes, ma'am. Mr. Baker, this is Pamela. Tell me, ma'am, is everything all right? You suddenly... I am currently at the Brooklyn police station. You must have received the video of my mother being slapped. I came here as an ordinary citizen to file a complaint. Your Sergeant Arnold Smith refused to take my complaint, threatened to hit me, and is threatening to lock me up for public nuisance. Oh yes, and he is invoking his boss, Senator Stephen York's name. Chief Baker's throat went dry on the other end. What? Ma'am, you are there? I'm coming, ma'am, immediately. As she hung up, Pamela looked at Arnold. Arnold's face had turned white. His hands and feet were trembling. Pamela? Which Pamela? Pamela said in her coldest voice, District Attorney, Albany, currently on special duty in New York. Sweat started pouring from Arnold's forehead. Ma'am, I didn't recognize you, ma'am. It was a mistake. He almost fell at Pamela's feet. Pamela roared, Stand back, don't touch me with those dirty hands. Within 5 minutes, the entire station premises were filled with the sound of sirens. The chief, captain, the entire top management of the New York police rushed in. Chief Baker got out of the car first. He saluted Pamela. All the police staff in the station who were laughing at Pamela just moments ago stood frozen like statues in fear. Chief Baker looked at Arnold. Arnold, how dare you? You to the DA's madam's mother? Pamela raised her hand to stop the chief. Mr. Baker, he didn't hit the DA's mother. He hit an ordinary citizen. That is a police officer's first crime, and the second crime is behaving indecently with a complainant. Pamela pulled a folded paper from her bag. This is Sergeant Arnold Smith's suspension letter. I've already spoken to the State Attorney General. Suspend him immediately and start a departmental inquiry against him. I will monitor that inquiry. Yes, ma'am, immediately. Arnold Smith ran and knelt before Pamela. Madam, have mercy. I have kids. On Senator Sir's orders. I didn't do anything, ma'am. Pamela stepped aside sharply. You should have thought about that mother before thinking about your kids, the one you raised your hand against. And I know on whose orders you did it. Go, give the news to your boss. Arnold's badge and gun were stripped. The Arnold Smith who was the king of this station half an hour ago now stood with his head bowed like a common criminal. Pamela's move caused a stir in the entire police force, but the real storm was yet to come. It didn't take long for the news to reach Senator Stephen York. He couldn't accept that his right-hand man Arnold had been suspended from a station like Brooklyn, and that too on the orders of some little girl DA. He picked up the phone and called the governor directly. Hello? Mr. Governor, what is happening? My man is being suspended in my area and I don't get the news? Who is this Pamela? Where did she get such audacity? The governor stuttered. Look, Stephen, the matter is a bit sensitive. That cop slapped the DA's mother. The video has gone viral. Media, opposition, everyone has jumped on it. Stephen roared. So what if he slapped her? If the police don't slap, will they kiss?
I don't want to hear all this. That girl is going too far. Send her back to Albany and withdraw Arnold's suspension order by tomorrow. Otherwise, I'll pull down your governor's seat too." Under pressure from the top, the administration started pressuring Pamela. Even the chief of staff called her and asked her to lift the suspension. But Pamela clearly stated, "The criminal will be punished. I will not bow to any pressure." The furious Senator York realized that intimidating this DA wouldn't work. He played a different game. Using the media, he levied false corruption charges against Pamela and set up fake witnesses. Under the pressure of this media trial, the government demanded an investigation against Pamela. She was temporarily removed from her DA post. She was told, "Stay on leave until the investigation is over."
Pamela understood this was a legal conspiracy to silence her. She was no longer the DA. She had no administrative power left. She returned to her mother in New York. Sarah broke down, seeing her daughter's condition. For me, you are in this state today. I told you not